jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. WCS the first in the building. I'm not feeling too good, but I'm going to be on here for a little bit. Let's get right down to it, man. Salute to everyone that's en route to the building, supporting the channel. I appreciate you. I salute you. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? You have several ways to donate for the channel. If you see fit. All right. So let me give you the intro, the preamble. Legend. Nate Diaz. Legend. There's no other way to put it. Him and his brother Nick. Legends. It ain't no other way to tell it. It ain't no other way to tell it. Legends. Nate Diaz, man, was fighting grown men when he was a teenager. Out of Stockton, California, man. Legends in the game, shawty. Him and his brother, always, wherever you see one of them, you'll see the other. You feel me? Mad respect for them. He's been in there with the who's who. You know what I'm saying? Nate Diaz been in there with the who's who. But let me talk about what he's actually in the news for this time. Nate Diaz recently fought a nemesis of his, sort of, kinda, you know, Jorge Masvidal out of Miami. Nate Diaz, West Coast, Stockton, California. If you didn't know, let's run a little, let's spin the reel a little bit. Nate Diaz, 21-13. Okay. He had fought Jorge Masvidal back in let me go to the first one. Let me go to the first time he fought. He fought Jorge Masvidal back in 2019. He lost via third round stoppage. All right. Let me tell you some of the big names that Nate Diaz had been in previously, prior to his fight with Jorge Masvidal in a boxing match. Man, Nate Diaz has been in there with Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Gray Maynard back in the day, when Melvin Gilliard was coming up the ranks. Joe Daddy Stevenson, y'all. Clay Guida, who's a Hall of Famer for his fight with freaking God damn, somebody know it in the chat, let me know. Like I said, I wasn't feeling well. Diego the Nightmare Sanchez. Manny Gabirian, even Corey Hill back in the day, Hermes Franca. Dude been in there with some hitters, yo. Some hitters. Rafael Dos Anjos, Michael Johnson, and then his infamous submission of Conor McGregor. See, Conor McGregor wasn't undefeated. I'm going to get to Jorge Masvidal. Conor McGregor wasn't undefeated when freaking Nate Diaz subbed him out. He had 2 losses from a previous organization, but he was undefeated in the UFC. And I always talk about his legendary run. You know what I'm saying? That Nate Diaz made. Legendary. I mean, that Conor McGregor made. Legendary. And Nate Diaz, man, he has a legendary freaking record. He fought Conor McGregor 3 times, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to fight Dustin Poirier. You know, at that time, shit got canceled. And like I said, he fought Jorge Masvidal. Then Leon Edwards. You know, this is on the back end of his career. They try to trick him out of his bag to fight Khamzat Chimaev at the last minute. But no, they canceled that bout. He had a win against Tony Ferguson. He went in there and fought pretty damn good against Jake Paul in a boxing match. He went the distance. And then he won against Jorge Masvidal in a freaking boxing match in Anaheim, California, y'all. He was in there with Takanori Gomi, Jim Miller, one half of the Miller twins, Benson Henderson. Man, his resume is the who's who. Dong Hoon Kim. Come on, Marcus Davis. The pocket, man, come on, bro. You're not going to find too many fighters that has a resume like the OG Nate Diaz. God dang. This dude around. But his partner, he's an OG too, man. Legend of the streets. He was street fighting when Kimbo Slice was alive. Yes. We talking about Jorge Masvidal. Both of these guys have double digit when it comes to losses. But Jorge, you got to think about it. This man's been in there with the who's who. 35 wins and 17 losses, y'all. This is a previous street fighter. This was a former street fighter, yo. This is crazy about what these guys have done. Yes, he had his share of losses, but also he's been in there with some very big names. So when he stepped in there with Nate Diaz, bro, one of his, building factors for this fight to come, outside of boxing was the fact that he knocked out Ben Askren in 5 seconds. Not just any knockout, but the knockout that really hasn't been duplicated yet in that amount of time. A knockout that it was so unpredictable that a lot of us never thought someone can pull something off. But that just goes to show you how smart Jorge Masvidal was. And if you don't remember who Ben Askren was, he was the only fighter to be traded for Demetrius Johnson. Johnson was the GOAT. Is one of the GOATs of freaking mixed martial arts. He left the UFC and went to one championship and became a world champion. Ben Askren came over here undefeated and was a world champion in the neighboring division. But he had a win, and then he stepped in there. I mean, he had a controversial win over Robbie Lawler. He was hurt bad, but he pulled it off. With Ben Askren, and everybody knows, Jorge Masvidal, and everybody knows that Ben Askren is a wrestler. Goofy curly head kid that can whoop ass. And Jorge Masvidal just pulled a reaction out of him. It was one of the most mobile feints that you can imagine. When I say mobile feints, Jorge Masvidal pulled a reaction out of Ben Askren like no other. He pretended like he was going to do something and forced the level change from Ben Askren and landed a knee to the right side of Ben Askren's head. I mean, Ben Askren actually thought that he was going to run towards him and throw some type of punch. You know what I'm saying? So what he do, level change, go to what he knows best, try to get a hold of those hips, body lock, something, and go to his world. And he didn't have a chance because he was knocked unconscious. Done. Over. The wild part about that, not to get off, too far from the Jorge Masvidal, because when I'm not watching boxing, I'm definitely paying attention to MMA. It's the fact that Jorge Masvidal himself, would leave, mixed martial arts, so to speak, and he would end up crossing paths once again on the outside of mixed martial arts and crossing over, to do a boxing match, just like you see some of these mixed martial artists doing. So he went there with Nate Diaz and he lost a unanimous decision. So let's talk about the actual problem that we have, right? Nate Diaz won and he was owed $10 million. He got one. But then when it came time to pay him the other 9, well, let's just read along and see what happened. This is ESPN.com. He said, less than weeks after Nate Diaz defeated Jorge Masvidal, people call him George, Jorge, whatever, in a boxing match, a lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court in Miami on Monday, claiming that Diaz is owed $9 million by promoter Solomon Ingle and his company, Payout. In a filing acquired by ESPN, Diaz claimed that he entered an agreement with Ingle and Payout to be paid $10 million for the fight against Masvidal, with $1 million paid up front and $9 million paid after the event. The lawsuit stated that Ingle is now reneging on the deal, claiming that the event is going to lose money. Wow. And we talk about boxing all the time, man. That's why I say the branches. A lot of people don't see the roots, but there's too many branches that people are allowed to pick fruit from when it comes to the tree of boxing. And not everyone that's picking that fruit is honoring the system of boxing, making sure these fighters are getting paid and well taken care of. I've been to fights where some of these fighters are put in the motherfucking the cheapest ghettos you can imagine in the hood with the motels. That's just, hey, you didn't pay for it, don't complain. You here to, go 1 or 2 rounds and that's it. But anyway, Diaz is much bigger than that. Jorge Masvidal is much bigger than that. He said in a flurry of desperate calls to Diaz representative following the event, Ingle despondently groveled that he was going to lose money than he had anticipated on the event if he paid Diaz what he promised, and that said name, his wife, might divorce him because of the financial loss. The lawsuit states Ingle went so far as to threaten he might have to declare bankruptcy to avoid paying Diaz what he's owed. Now I'm reading because, I'm not my regular upbeat tempo self. Just give me a minute. I'll be back whenever that is. It goes on to say, Diaz is suing for both fraud and breach of contract, y'all. Nate Diaz has filed a frivolous lawsuit against Payout, which claims that fraud and breach of contract was committed by Fanio. Yet neither has taken place. Engel said in a statement, in fact, Diaz has already been paid 7 figures in connection with the fight. I look forward to resolving the dispute through the appropriate process and am confident that justice will prevail. That's wild. Real talk. That's super wild because, Diaz don't deserve that. Nate Diaz don't deserve that at all. He's done fought his fight. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, when it comes to boxing or these certain, little micro promotions, you set yourself up for that. Real talk. I'm not saying Diaz set himself up for that. I'm saying at the end of the day, $10 million is good money, yo. Whatever you want to say, that's good money, ain't it? $10 million is good money. And you get $1 million up front too. But the messed up thing about it is when you don't get all your money. You know what I'm saying? You don't get all your money. That's where it gets all bad. Diaz nor Jorge Masvidal. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to know what's going on with Masvidal, though. That's what I want to see. I want to see what's going on with Masvidal. I want to see what's up with him. Is he complaining? Did he get all his money? I'm curious to know if that's, what's up with that. But Nate Diaz deserved to sue this guy. There's no ifs and a but about it. He's earned, to be taken care of better than that. And unfortunately, he runs into a promoter that lost on the fight. Well, everybody will tell you at one point in time they're going to lose money, right? But, when you are outside of your primary sport, which is mixed martial arts, and you're in a boxing match, it provides you a different group of fans to see you, first of all. And then you get in shape and you go in there and you really box. And you know what I'm saying? You're doing what you're supposed to do. You deserve to get compensated. And he fought the entire fight. Nobody can take that away from him unless you don't pay the man. And that's exactly what we have going on here. Engel said his wife may divorce him. If he pays out that $9 million. I mean, anybody who is married to a promoter knows damn well that's a high possibility that you may lose money. They go in the game. It's good when you're making money and you're breaking people's back by stabbing them, you know what I'm saying, and walking on their back. I've seen fighters fight, and they saw me taking pictures at the freaking weigh-in. I remember I had a fighter that was obviously on some type of drugs or something. He came up to me after the fight. He said, "Hey man, where I get my check?" He thought I was working with the promoter. I said, "I don't know. You have to ask the promoter, big dog." Because he thought I was part of the promotion. I said, no. You got the wrong person. But I can understand why he was, feeling the way he was feeling, bro. Because he went in there and didn't even make it past one round. He wanted to get paid. Hey, he didn't make it past one round, man. He came and asked me, I thought I was going to have to hit him with a hook to the body or something. He was like, "Man, where I pick up my check at?" I said, "Bro, where's your team at?" You know what I'm saying? Where's your freaking team at, homie? That's who you should be asking. You shouldn't be asking me. I don't have anything to do with this. You should be asking your team, where is your paycheck at? And it can't be to a point where you think you're getting big money. But that's how it goes sometimes behind the scene. Those of you that go to fight, like I always say, it's different, bro. Real talk, it's different. It's different for everybody. Another part that I was happy about was that, let me see. Hold on. Let me see, can I find it? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This right here, shawty. For those of you that go to the fights, to know that, man, I finally got a pic with one half of the Diaz brothers, dog. I ain't gonna lie, I was happy, bro. I mean, I really, Diaz was a fighter that I appreciate for his toughness. Motherfucker was taller than I thought. And when I was in California, I used to see him a couple times, bro. I used to see Uriah Faber. You know what I'm saying? I used to see Ryan Sheckler, the skateboarder, when he was a kid, bro. I wish I would have got that picture. But, I didn't want to seem like that's when it was just, dude, it was just crazy. I saw Ryan Sheckler, bro. And dude was like 16 years old at the time, I think, 16 or 17. And he walked in the mall. I saw him outside when I pulled up. He pulled up in this black Mercedes Benz. He parked in front of the mall and walked in. He was dolo, yo. And look, he was surprised that a black, I said, what's going on, Ryan? What you up to? Man, he was just shocked that I even know who he was as a skateboarder. Like, he was a prodigy, went on to be big time, bro. And he was walking in the mall by himself. I said, what's up, Ryan? What you up to, bro? I wish I would have got that picture, though. But it was good to get this pic with Nate Diaz, bro, and his peoples. You know what I'm saying? That was at the MGM, Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That right there, I was very happy to get a picture with, because I got him finally at the backside of his career, and see him going up there supporting boxing matches. Yeah, I like that. That was cool. That was cool. Seriously, that was cool. I know I throw these pictures up every now and then for y'all to see, but I'm not gonna be doing this covering fights forever and a day. Seriously. So every now and then when I run across some pictures, especially if the topic that I'm talking on, like Nate Diaz, and I got a picture with him, that's memories. You know what I'm saying? That's memories. Look how far I'm away from the ring. And a lot of people probably don't even know where that's at. Look how far I'm away from the ring. That's because I do photography, right? I always said that it'd be better for me to get a lens, a frame, better than trying to talk to these boxers. I really don't like doing interviews like that. I'll talk to y'all, but doing interviews never really been my thing. I tried it, but I really take a picture. So yeah, it comes good times, bro. You know what I'm saying? You run into people early on in their career, and you say to yourself, man, that was a special moment right there. That was tight. You know what I'm saying? That was nice. Real talk. But since we on there, I got to give a shout out to Team Tucker. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you may know what this is at, and a lot of you may not. But this was down in the A when he finished sparring Brian Norman Jr. That's his pops music, Jihad Tucker, and myself. You know what I'm saying? Down here in the A. Shout out to that team for allowing me in their home to freaking do media with them and their peoples, bro. You know what I'm saying? Salute you. Besides Roy Jones, besides Roy Jones and everything, and when I was covering Michael Williams Jr., you know what I'm saying? Team Tucker, they actually was the first where I done broke bread with in they people's crib. Like in they people's crib. You know what I'm saying? First one where out of all the times I went to fights, Shaw News may have not been on the scene longer than me, but he did help me in big ways when I didn't have room and board. He gave me some info to certain areas. He linked me up with some, people when he really started to get rolling. That's why I got mad respect for what he does, because it doesn't have to do with whoever isn't giving him the attention. It's the fact that he's demanding attention. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You hear some people say about respect. I'm not gonna sit up here and beg for your respect. I mean, beg for my respect. I'm gonna demand it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him and his team that's continuing to do it. But Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, bro. I seen Jorge, but most of the time Jorge got people around him, dog, and he won't stop and take no picture. But you know, Nate Diaz stopped and took a picture, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciated that. That was a grand moment right there for me. You know what I'm saying? There was another picture I had in here too, where you had to be there to see it. You know what I'm saying? You had to be there to see it. Look at this old picture right here. Look at this young picture. You know, I know I'm off with the Nate Diaz, but I just want to touch on that article with him. You know, got a lawsuit out for the $9 million and so forth. It wasn't really a big article, but I am going to talk about what RJJ said. Who is that right there? Look at that team. Look how young Abdullah Mason look. Look how young. I mean, I got pictures for days, man. I know you're probably saying, you know, why? Because I can. I'm just doing it because I can. Real talk. Because it's just like I haven't really covered no fights this year, but I still got a catalog that goes deep, deep, deep. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look at this right here. I got the autographed version of the retro Shaw News autographed retro. The retro. I got the autograph one. Yeah. I know you can hate. It's all good. But shout out to Diaz, man. It was a pleasure running you in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I get a picture of him and his brother somehow, some way, man. You know? I'm about to get to Roy Jones in a minute. See, every time I start clicking on these pictures, I say, man, you know, this is incredible. You know what I'm saying? This is incredible to be able to freaking have these moments. Did I ever tell you the time where I was stuck outside with Robert Garcia and we was chopping it up? They locked us out the door. Yeah, I'll show you right now. I was stuck outside with Robert Garcia coming back from getting our credentials. But see, you had to be there. You had to be at the fight, dog. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on that man's name, man. Shaw News doing big, bro. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. Don't worry about who ain't looking at you. Because they are looking at you. They just don't want you to know they looking at you, man. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at that shit. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. You got people up here. The only time they talk about black fighters is to start beef. They know damn well they don't cover fights. I got one with Better Be, dog. Over there in the New York streets, bro. Come on, man. I got memories. Bro. We got memories. The Lens gang, the Shutter Gang crew, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shaw News got memories, bro. Shutter Game in full effect, man. Know that. Shutter Game in full effect, bro. Yeah, we ran into some other celebrities. It's all good, but that's not why I'm taking pictures, man. I want to get the boxers. You know what I'm saying? If a celebrity came into the frame, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Look at the legend Chop Chop Curly. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Me and Chop Chop. You know what I'm saying? Man, come on, bro. I told you, when I get a picture of me and Mike Dolo, I'm done. I probably never would get a picture with me and Mike Tyson. But if I do, it's over. It's done. Real talk. It's done. Over. You know what I'm saying? And look, they don't show him no love. He just got to win. He just got to win. You know what I'm saying? The mainstream don't rock out with him, but he, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to DB3. You know what I'm saying? That's 1/3 of the Davis brothers. You know what I'm saying? 1/3 of the Davis brothers. Salute to you. Still getting them wins. Let me give you one more. Let me give you one more vintage. Let me give you one more vintage. Okay? Look at this picture in the retro, the old school Stewart Hotel. You got Coach Ream and CEO Nasaya, Jahai Tucker, Michael Williams Jr. in the Stewart Hotel. What I really want to talk about is look how young Shot News Kids is and where they at in the game right now. Look how young they are right there. And they know how to work a camera. You know, I mean, you know, they both have different ways. You know what I'm saying? They have different what positions, occupations when it comes to the game. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing their thing, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to them, bro. I go through this, man, this is memory. Hey, when it's all said and done, it's all said and done, man. Real talk. I got a lot of what I needed. Seriously, I ain't gonna lie. When I get to going through these pictures, bro, nigga, it just goes on and on, bro, to the break of dawn. You know what I'm saying? 2 future world champions right here. 2 future world champions right here, right? You know what I'm saying? Shoo Carrington and Jahai Electric Boogie Tucker. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what they do from down on out. When they become world champions, I got a picture before they was world champions, bro. Blessed. Blessed, shawty. Blessed, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You know, I even got a picture of the one and longer. Y'all know who this is. Before he become world champion, he got a chance to become world champion, whatever happened to him. Edgar Berlanga. Look at that. Edgar Berlanga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Before all the, he get the belt. Before he gets the belt. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Shout out to the bus. Shout out to that ATL bus, dog. You know what I'm saying? That gray bus. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that gray bus, man. Shout out to that gray bus right there. Shout out to that gray bus, man. Real talk. Shout out to the gray bus. I had to get her a shout out. Real talk. Shout out to my comrade Jamel Herring, AK Simplify, man. Man, I love you, big dog. You know, you did what a lot of Marines could never do. You feel me? He did what a lot of Marines could never do. You know? Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Going on. Yeah, I mean, one of the savages, man. Robisa Ramirez, dog. Shout out to El Tran. Robisa Ramirez, man. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? I know you hear the clicking in the background. It's okay. I'm just going through some freaking history right quick before I let you hear the audio, some infamous audio of Roy Jones Jr. comments that he made. Come on, man. He was spot on with that. He was spot on with those comments, dog. He was spot on. Look at this right here. Had the opportunity to get this black and white photo or one of the hitters in the game, $1 Million Molly. He came down here and just did somebody. I can't even talk about it. What's in the gym staging? I can't even do that to him. I can't do that. I can't do that. That's the first time I seen Jamali Tucker spar, bro. You know, that's a situation that was just waiting to happen, bro. Real talk. That's a situation waiting to happen. You know, the good thing, I'm not in his weight class. You know what I'm saying? Nor am I around his age group, goddammit. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about a damn thing when it comes to being in his weight class. I don't worry about a damn thing. And say, look at this right here. You know, I got to put that up there too. That's history. The day that it happened. You know what I'm saying? The only content creator that got a picture of the statue before it was even revealed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm going to give you one more before I get to these comments. I keep going through the archives, just digging it up, man. Good memories, man. You know, growing with people, seeing people grow, getting they to where they at now, man. Taking over the game. They taking over the game, man. I don't want to piss them off, but this is one of those times where somebody was lying on, you know, this picture hit the web. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, I gotta make a story up. And that's when the infamous 7011, I ran into Crawford. He didn't know I was a silent partner working for BLK Prime. We was trying to make the fight. And I need to tell my friends, yeah. He say he saw me and he leaned over and say, hey man, I like what you doing, brother. Keep on. No. It's all BS. You know, he said, oh my God, Crawford's on deck. I gotta look out my window and see if that's him out there. Is he there? 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 Is it? Wow, who would have thought Crawford to be in the hood with 7-Eleven? And that guy looks out his window and say, oh, I'll be right back. I'm running across the street. Come on, man. Come on, dog. But Crawford was in town for his fighter, Shakur Stevenson. He was in town for his fighter, Shakur Stevenson. You know, that turned into a debacle where people start to create stories about what they believe they seen. Nobody else witnessed it. But yet we was confused. You know what I'm saying? We was confused. But it's okay, man. It was okay. And you know what? I think that's pretty much it for right now. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty much it for right now. Let me get to this recording. Appreciate everybody for taking that little stroll with me, because it's good. It's healthy. It's healthy to see what people have put into, because no matter what they say out there, no matter what the shots they take, they know they don't have the catalog to fuck with you. No matter what they say. Don't worry about the compliments they choosing to keep and keep themselves. They see the growth, they see the progress, man. You know what I'm saying? They see it, they know it. And that's my only message to freaking Shaw News, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're doing a great job, bro. You're doing a great job, man. Switching shit up, switching up the game, stunting on them. You're doing a great job, bro. I ain't gonna tell you to keep doing what you're doing, because every time I turn around, you're doing something new. So keep on progressing and coming up with new ideas, creativity, getting your kids involved, doing what you got to do. And keep on setting the standard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. Don't worry about all them other niggas and what they don't have going on. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about that shit. You're defeating the purpose, man. Don't worry about it. Let's listen to this audio from Roy Jones. Wouldn't you know? What the hell? Hold on for a second, y'all. I was talking too long. My shit went back in the thread. You know how that goes. Hold on. That's unfortunate too. Oh, matter of fact, I'ma find it. Hold on for a second. I know where it's at. I know where it's at, man. I know where it's at. There it is. There it is right there, man. So let me share this right quick. I want you to go. This is going to be the audio of All the Smoke fight. This is Roy Jones Jr. He's giving his take on Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevens, and Devin Haney. Okay, you know how they lost their minds, right? When he made that comment when we was in Augusta, Georgia, and you know, people's up here being disrespectful. You know, to Roy Jones. You know, on the comment that he made, he got to see, you know, Errol Spence fight somebody, and they just really disrespected the legend. And then they turn around and see Errol Spence taking a picture with him in 2024. I mean, how dumb is you? How stupid do you look? You know what I'm saying? People that, you know, you ask yourself, they call themselves boxing fans, then all of a sudden they turn on Roy Jones. Well, I think this was a pretty good take. I like this take, man. I enjoyed his take and his comments that he made. And let me put this up here right quick. Hold on. I can't just have this. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Let me find. Let me share this. We're going to get to this audio. Here it is. Let's get it.
I'm gonna say each name, you tell me what you think about him. Let's start with Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia is a hell of a puncher. He's very explosive.
Dangerous hook.
Very dangerous. Everybody know that hook doesn't knock a buffalo out. It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
He probably throw a hook more like mine than anybody seen.
Yeah.
He got that one punch on that left hook. Deadly.
He gave Ryan Garcia's left hook mad credit. And this is Roy Jones Jr. giving his take, All the Smoke. You know what I'm saying? He's giving Ryan Garcia mad credit. You know what I'm saying? Mad credit on his left hook. He giving him the utmost respect on that left hook. You know what I'm saying? The utmost respect. So, regardless of what all the other people are saying, you know, you have to take a look at this coming from a legend. Real talk, this coming from a legend. Let's keep it moving.
And then he understands how to throw it. So that's what he is.
Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but he got to learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is going to mean a lot for him.
Okay, here it goes, right? When I initially heard this from Roy Jones, and he giving his take on Shakur Stevenson, who's wrapped up and dangling in a web of criticism, right? So much to the fact that, you know, Cam and Mace has gotten spun up in this. Jay Prince, just so many people getting spun up on this. And the other night you heard me, you know, put a thumbnail up there that, you know, Shakur just needs to listen more. And Crawford was telling him he didn't let his hands go. You didn't let your hands go. You didn't let your hands go. So when it come down to your performance and people criticizing you have to say, okay, if the great is telling you didn't let your hands go, but yet you was moving your feet, yeah, but you wouldn't let your hands go. I mean, you should pay attention. But I said to myself, I wanted to Shakur have enough exposure. Has he did enough for people to come for Roy Jones in the comments that he made? Because he hit this. Roy hit this absolutely dead center, yo. As we call him in the Marine Corps, center mass, bro. When we looking through them freaking sights, he hit this on the head.
Mm-hmm. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. Mm-hmm. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You understand me? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I'd say. I feel like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that distance. Somebody got to teach him. And I would.
So you saw how he said his feet is good, right? But he moved too far outside distance for a counter. And he emphasized that he wasn't running. Because if Roy would have even insinuated, assumed, made any type of comment to declare Shakur Stevenson as running, Shakur, in my opinion, would have had no hesitation throwing Roy into the same lineup of those individuals he's been criticizing and disrespecting. Seriously. I don't think he would have had no problem doing that. But Roy said he ain't running.
Teach him if they brought him to me, let me teach him. But he got to understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
They brought him to me, let me teach him. But he got.
That's how I'd say. I feel like he was running.
He really ain't.
See, he felt that he was running. You know what I'm saying? He felt that he was running because he's not. He go to boxing, and they're gonna treat him just like they treat everybody else. They're gonna say, well, you know, you just a basketball dude. You really don't know about boxing anyway. So he can sit there and say he running because he don't care. You know what I'm saying? He's not really in boxing like that. Yeah, they want all the smoke and all that, but at the end of the day, he's probably gonna get that same respect that Jermell Charlo was getting when you know, Terrence Crawford was talking to him. You know, if he get, you know, two on the second or third row when Shakur's really stunting on somebody, he might look over there and start disrespecting. Oh boy. So let's keep it moving.
Running, he just don't understand that distance. Somebody got to teach him. And I would teach him if they brought him to me, let me teach him. But he got to understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
They take, when you say something bad, they take this criticism.
Right.
No, son, you got to understand how to not jump. Okay.
You see what he said? You tell them, you know, you try to give them constructive criticism, or you try to tell them what they need to change, they take the criticism. That's the new school. Real talk. That's the new school. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the new school right there.
People know what the thing that dig the hole, the excavator, right?
Yeah.
If you move that thing back too far, you can't reach the job.
Right.
It's got to work, but it got to stay on the job while it work. You can't take it out of, if you working with this, because this part keeps it on the job, the feet. This do the work. If you take the thing and move it back, it's off the job. It can't work no more.
Right.
So if you move back every time off the job, it ain't gonna ever get no work done. So now it's gonna become boring. Why? It ain't doing nothing. It start on the hole, then it move to another one. It start on the hole, then it move to another one. When we gonna get a pond dug? We're not, because it's taking off the job too much. You gotta leave it on the job for it to get a pond dug. And that's his only thing. He a great fighter. He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He gonna be a great fighter. He just gotta figure out how to use them feet a little different.
He said he gonna be a great fighter. He just gotta learn how to, you know, use his feet different. And see, the one takeaway I say with this, right? When a great like Roy Jones Jr. give you credit in the midst of criticism, you should make it be known. You know, give him a shout out, say thank you. It ain't clout chasing, believe that. How dare you? It ain't clout chasing. It's paying homage, showing respect, acting like you was raised right. You know, these dudes, they're here, and then they say, oh, he didn't say anything. You know, so they won't even come out with anything positive to say, you know, I appreciate that, you know, legend, something like that. But they won't even say nothing, man. Because they didn't give them 100,000% kudos. They didn't give them 100,000% credit. Seriously. Shout out to the chat, man. I see y'all in the building. What's good? What's good? Salute, salute. Let me get back to this audio.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet.
He said his defense is with his feet, yo. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what they said about Roy? That Roy's feet was so good, generated that speed that he had. And then when he lost his feet, I mean, he said he's the best defense because of his feet. His defense is with his feet. You know, y'all learning something out there or not?
That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. Mm-hmm. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem. Once he learns that or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people...
Good question. Good question, Jackson. He said, with the skill he has right now, make him the best. Now, you got to understand, when you say the best out of them four, you got Tank Davis still in there. You know what I'm saying? You got Tank Davis still in there. And Roy said no.
People going to say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not going to engage until he wants to engage. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing, too.
He said they know he know the back foot game so well. See, when you're on the back foot game, they say you running. Seriously. When you're on the back foot game, they say you running. Especially if that back foot, you're not lining your opponent up or countering like Crawford was against Spence. Because Crawford, he boxed off the back foot. But man, he definitely made Spence pay.
But for the fans, and to be
not right now,
the ratings, you got to be able to engage when they need you to engage. Mm-hmm. If you can't, then you're going to become bored. So he's not boring unless you don't understand boxing.
Right.
You understand boxing, he's not bored at all. He's doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
But when you look at it from a fight fan perspective, it becomes boring because he's not ever taking that risk to do something off.
Yeah.
He said when you look at it from a fight fan perspective, many would say it's boring. It's true. He did say some real stuff. He said if you're looking at it from a fight fan perspective, that is true. They're going to say it's boring. You know what I'm saying? But from a boxer's perspective, they would say that they would give him what they give him. Now, quite to the contrary, Bruce Carrington, he doesn't he's not in total agreement with what Roy was saying. Not that he made a comment about anything Roy said, but he pretty much put Shakur Stevenson out there as saying he need to be more entertaining. But Roy said, you know, it's not running. He's boxing off the back foot.
He got to just be a little bit more of a risk taker. But he got to learn it with the feet so he knows when and why he's taking that risk.
He said he need to be a little bit more the risk taker. So to caveat basically what I said about Bruce Carrington, he's pretty much saying, yeah, you need to be more of a risk taker. And a lot of other people are saying that. But it's according to who's rocking with him heavy and who's not, because Shakur doesn't take any type of criticism. Well, he don't, man. In my opinion, the real criticism.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's where people like myself come in, because I understand it. And they would say, why you trying? The reason I don't say much more, Stephen, because I don't never want guys to think I'm trying to.
You hating on him.
I'm trying to take your
this is knowledge.
This is all it is.
Yeah.
And if you said, hey, I want to come spend some time, I'll pay you to come. Kobe said, I'm a paralyzed one to spend some with him so I learn how to get my footwork right.
Let me tell you right, that's only in our culture. Because if you go to the doctor, right? If anybody go to a doctor that you never met, never seen him cut on nobody, never seen him do no operation, and he sit there and say, well, ma'am, I just looked at you, I got to do this. You're not going to question him at all. You're going to come here on time. You're not going to eat. He's going to tell you not to eat. You're not going to eat and do everything he say.
Yep.
You ain't never met this man before. But we've seen you at the top of boxing.
Doing all this.
Why we wouldn't take your, you know what I'm saying? So it's only in our culture where people take it as hate instead of taking it as advice to try to help people. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? We've learned as men, especially we from the old school.
Hey, Steven's saying some real stuff. You know, put it this way. When you mention our culture can be highly critical of one another. Real talk. But so does others. But we speak of our people because the boxer is black. You know what I'm saying? The people that we see in this video, both of them are black. Shakur, he's mixed, he's black and Puerto Rican, but we still embrace him. You know what I'm saying? We still embrace him with, if he's black. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. Is my audio good? Can y'all hear me? Golden say no sound. Can y'all hear me just fine? Let me check myself. I can check myself, to be honest. Yeah, the sound is crispy. Let's keep it moving.
School. We know how to disagree, but still keep the respect there.
That's all
you know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
It's all about respect.
But I wish, guys like you, when I was playing, I had Steve Smith, but I wish guys like Jordan and stuff would reach back to, you know what I'm saying? These basketball players wish Jordan would call and be like, look, man, I see you doing this.
So he's talking about, us giving each other, kudos. And see, I never had a problem with giving people their flowers at all in life, right? I did find out amongst my own people, though, especially when I used to purposely use advanced vocabulary to communicate with people just to get a reaction out of them. These weren't people that I really kicked it with. These was individuals that were snakes. They always want to think they was better than you. And whenever they had a conversation with you, they wanted to look like they was telling you something you never heard before. And one thing I found about the only people who complained about, advanced vocabulary was my people. I never had a white person complain about that. When they selected me to be the general's brief, I never heard, white people complain about that. You know what I'm saying? I was, it may have been one or two black officers in that room. But anyway, they hear him talk about, people reaching back and giving giving compliments. Bro, I had more people. I'll be in my lane doing my own thing. I had more people that shit on me because they didn't know what I had going on. It was people say, well, he never invited us over the house. He never, invited us over this. He don't want you to get close to his family. That's just the way I was if I didn't know you. But see, the shit I say, about Shaw News, it's no freaking ulterior motive. It's nothing attached to it. You know what I'm saying? That's disingenuous. When people telling me he's a Judas and all that, look, I done seen the growth. I tell them all the time, I respect a man who don't need to be told over and over again to do the same thing. And then they come back to you months and months later about something you told them a long time ago and they still haven't made the progress yet. what he's doing, he would be considered someone that'll get a meritorious promotion in the Corps. I would tell somebody straight up, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing. And they might say thank you, but most of the time you don't hear them tell you the same thing. They'll see you at the card. You know, some of them do. But I'm talking about the ones that are straight up haters. They don't have it in their bone to do what Stephen is saying. Reach back. Tell your people what you think about them in a good way. You know what I'm saying? It also goes for the person that's requesting that too. You got to be willing to be able to take that criticism too. You just can't be up there saying, oh man, Jordan said that to me. No, man, he said what he said. You have to learn how to take it too. If he told you that, hey, you don't play the whole game when you in there, you should be getting back down the court. Maybe, you know, sometimes you should stay at practice longer, show up early, leave late. You got to be willing to take that. They have to be willing to take it.
Why don't you do this? You know what I'm saying? People should embrace that more.
If they ask, I tell them. Anybody ask me, they know. If you ask me, like you ask me now,
yeah,
you never heard that before,
right?
But I'm gonna tell you the truth because I'm not talking behind your back. I want you to hear it too, yeah, because this is what has to happen.
Hey, that's one thing that I always say. You know, I mean, being able to, you know, get linked up, even though we're not rocking out like that anymore. Me and Team Williams, I still give them credit for, you know, me getting to be able to cover Roy Jones when I did. I don't have a problem with releasing that. I don't, man. I don't have a problem with it, bro. There's some people that would just have a problem with somebody that they, you know, they're not on good terms with and tell them the truth about a situation. I was able to get in and start covering Roy from them, bro. Roy's always been freaking a straight shooter, man. A straight shooter. And I covered this man plenty of times. I done had conversation with Roy plenty of times. I'm not saying, you know, I'm in competition with nobody. I just got a lot of footage that I haven't even put out on him. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even put out on him yet.
It can always come to you.
We can fix it.
Yeah.
I help you fix that part. I don't mean you're gonna win.
Right.
But I can't fix that part.
Yeah.
You know?
Devin Haney
just gotta work back on his power a little bit. I used to train him back in the day when he was 16.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of tools.
He said he used to train Devin back when he was 16. Now, for those of you who knows. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they went over there and they got from Roy and then they bounced. But Roy said, yeah, he trained when he was 16. Let's keep it pushing though.
Tools, but he got to sharpen his power up a little bit if he's gonna stay in boxing because
he's not a threat no more.
He's not in power. You gotta have that power. You don't have that man power. He's growing. He's only 24, but I really kind of want to get him back. I told one of my guys when he come out of training camp, bring him with him because I want to get his power back sharp like it used to be. His power, when you fight amateur a lot, and I hate to say this, but even the Cubans, their power punches have disintegrated. They don't throw the power they used to throw no more. You understand me? They used to be powerful and great boxers.
Is he dropping the gym? Dang, he say, man, Roy said I can get back the power, bro. He said the Cubans are not even, you know, putting that power on display no more. Because the amateur style, you know, it's the point system and everything. And I done seen amateur fights where fighters get robbed because they connecting and they're throwing all these punches, but really they ain't doing that. They're not setting up punches and making the shot count, doing less punch output, but more effective, proficient punch placements. You know, that's what Roy's saying. He can get Devin back the way it was.
Now they good boxers still, but they're not as powerful because they slap more. When I say slap, I mean they punch with this part of the hand more than this part of the hand. Yeah. This is the hardest part of your knuckle. You hit him with this, you're crazy because it takes just as much time to hit with this as to hit with that. So if I'm gonna hit you, why not hit you with a hammer? I don't hit you with no water balloon. This is a water balloon. This is a hammer.
He said that's a water balloon, y'all. Roy said that's a water balloon, man. This is a hammer. This is a hammer. That's a water balloon over there, man. Which one you want to get hit with?
You understand me? It's a different thing. I'm not gonna hit you with the water balloon. It's just gonna piss you off.
Yeah.
Because when that water get all your face and wet you, now you mad.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
No, I'm hitting you with the hammer. So you're gonna say, whoa, yes, that's the reaction I want. You understand me? If I didn't have a hammer, when I went up to fight John Reese, I'd never beat John Reese.
Yeah.
Cause he'd walk through that water balloon. That's all
And
you got.
he moved up just when he moved up to heavyweight. Light heavyweight. It was light heavyweight, right?
Heavyweight. He takes that one time, that's all you got.
Yeah.
Here he come. No holds barred, he just cut it. Cause he's not afraid of that water balloon.
That's a big boy too.
Instead, when he felt the hammer, he said, oh, woo, this dude can punch. Yes, sir. Both of us can.
Hey man, it's good that Roy at his age, man, is still witty. You know what I'm saying? Roy's still witty, bro. He's still able to carry on a dialogue and drop some gems, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a good deal. He's, you know, we talk about these fighters say, hey, the artist to hit and not get hit. Well, Roy, he did the hitting and he got hit. So let's, like I say, you know, everybody anatomies and neurological headquarters is wired different. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's not the amount of workers that you have there. Seriously, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's how your body is innately gifted to you. Everybody's body is different. Some fighters can take less and then still get pugilistic, and some can really get in there and take that punishment and they still get up out the game after with several knockouts and still be able to carry on the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people really understand that. They'll say, oh man, who want to take that punishment? It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So welcome to my world.
Yeah. But they didn't know you was gonna be able to punch moving up like that.
They didn't.
They
But
know it was gonna translate.
It's about technique though.
Yeah.
You got the technique, it's gonna translate.
Yeah.
You know, it don't matter what team you play for, your jump shot's still the same.
Yeah.
Because you.
He said, if you got the technique, it's gonna translate. That's a one liner right there. If you got the technique, it's gonna translate, nigga. What? If you got the technique, it's gonna translate. Nasty.
You got a technical good jump shot.
Yeah.
You understand the game.
It's routine too.
You understand me? So no matter who you play for, you still gonna be Steven Jackson.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's different. A guy only has this or only has that, then it's easy to isolate that, and now you can take him out of the game. Because that's all he got. But when a guy know how to use what he got in a lot of different ways, it's hard to stop him.
Make adjustments on the fly.
It's hard to stop him.
Tank Davis.
One of the best ones out there is what they don't know gets less respect for it, but one of the best ones out there.
He said one of the best out there get less respect. One of the best out there now. It's gonna get interesting. Cause I want to know who's gonna sit up here and disrespect Roy. It's been people that do it. It's been fighters that do it. You know, Errol Spence said F him. You know what I'm saying? When the legends went up there and was getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, he didn't like what he heard. You know? Let's see what he got to say about El Chin Checker.
Now his mouth a little different. You know what I'm saying? He's a different kind of character when it comes to the mouth.
Yeah.
Because that's where he's from. But he's really one of the pound the best ones of the coup. And I'm gonna tell you why he's the best one of the coup to me. He can punch, but he also can box. You understand me? Some that can box can't punch. Some that can punch can't box. He can box, he can punch, he can move laterally, he can do it left side, right side.
He said he can box and he can punch. He can move laterally. He can move just the way, however way he feel like. And you know, the boxers need to understand how dangerous Tank is as a fighter with his package. You know what I'm saying? Way he's compacted. God blessed him with compact freaking arsenal. When we in combat, man, them fighters be out there on the front line, them grunts, shout out to the grunts, shout out to the infantry. Dudes that went out there and a lot of them lost their life and you know, was locked down in firefights and stuff like that. You know, you think of Tank cat-like reflexes, fast twitch fibers. He has some of the best fast twitch fibers in the game. You know, some fighters will look at him in a way that is disadvantage. Like it's a disadvantage for him to have such short arms. Teofimo Lopez was just talking about how Crawford got long arms. But Crawford's punch placement, his IQ, how he lines and able to see what his opponent is doing is extremely effective. Tank, when he goes on the hunt, he has a different way of freaking breaking down his opponent. And when he sends that shot down range, he don't do it with no wind up unless he wants to. Like he actually winded up and looped that uppercut with Leo Santa Cruz because he wanted to. He wanted to loop it up on the Leo Santa Cruz right. But he set him up for that. He has some of the fastest twitch fibers in the sport. A fighter that has some of the best defense, you know what I'm saying? In this equation right here, who did he say? He said Shakur Stevenson. He has good feet. You know what I'm saying?
He can do whatever he needs to do as a southpaw to get the job done. And that's saying a lot, because not many guys can do that today.
As I'm, like I said, once again, I'm talking to you, the great Roy Jones. Just correct me if I'm wrong. From his last 4 fights, I think he's gotten better at setting up punches, making people walk into him. He did it against Roland. He did it against Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Of course I agree with that, because he shows discipline. Discipline enough to have, he got enough shock on his punch, but he knows how to set the punch up before he does it. He's patient enough to set it up before he does it. He looks at it a few times to make sure he got it. When you know he got it, boom, he get it. That's
He showed no setup that shot with freaking Frank Martin too. You know what I'm saying? It says on the package, it says on the back of the goddamn bottle, 2 goddamn gloves full. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need to goddamn go night-night. 2 gloves full. And goddamn Tanks gave him 2 droplets. You know what I'm saying? With the right and the left. You know? That's all it said. 2 droplets.
a real chess player in the boxing ring. That's the most deadly kind of guy in the world, besides a Mike Tyson type guy in boxing. A guy that can play chess in that boxing ring is a killer. And that's what Tank can do.
He said Tank can play chess. You know, I always say Tank hunt different. But Roy said he plays chess. He does be playing chess in there. I have to agree. Tank does play chess a different way. It's a type of chess where, the other opponent's not sitting there across the board and taking his time. You know what I'm saying? It's playing chess, intellectual aspect of it, but it's definitely the Serengeti when it comes to the pressure on his opponent, forcing his opponent to make the next move. That's what's the difference between the chess. I understand his analogy for sure. You know what I'm saying? I definitely understand his analogy though, Roy Jones' analogy. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man.
You get how much credit you give to Calvin and them? His
You gotta
trainer.
get up. They raised him up his whole life. You gotta give him that credit too.
Boy, sleep in front of the gym.
Yeah, they raised him up his whole life. You gotta give him that credit, But he's kind of like him and Terrence Crawford to me.
Yeah.
Are two of the best right now because of their setup game.
Yeah.
And Devin has a setup game too. Just that Devin didn't feel a little bit on his punches. If he gives his punches back on point, he got a good setup game. If Ryan get a setup game and a right hand, Ryan will be dangerous.
Yeah.
Yep.
The dream fight out of them four, who is it?
Man, in all those fights are dream fights.
All four of them.
All
He said all of them. Ooh. He said Tank, Ryan, Shakur, Devin Haney. This is the only part I kind of slightly disagree with the legend about all of them being dream fights. This is where I slightly disagree. Because Ryan Garcia has been in there with 2 of the 4 that they're speaking on. Ryan Garcia didn't make it against Tank Davis, and he beat up Devin Haney. So the only other one for Ryan Garcia is Shakur Stevenson. Now, if you take Shakur Stevenson and put him in there with Ryan Garcia, what did they say about the fans? The fans are going to do what? Oh man, don't nobody want to see this fight because both of them. But you got to look at the weird, unorthodox dynamic of a Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and their technical prowess. You got to look at it that way. Both of them thrive and demonstrate technical ability to go in there and box. You heard Roy talk about how Shakur Stevenson has the back foot game. You know what I'm saying? He kind of said Devin does too. He need to work on his power. So technically, that collision course may be very educational. It may be a sleeper for Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. It may be a absolute sleeper to see them two go in there and box. Now, if you're talking about Devin Haney, Tank Davis, hey, all I gotta say is he better go see Roy real quick because if Tank Davis don't have any type of punch that's gonna make him say what he said when he fought Rolly, talking about, oh yeah, he had a little pop on his punch. I said, okay, let me chill, and I come back and get him. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. I'm gonna come back and get him. If Devin Haney cannot make Tank Davis realize that he need to be a little bit more careful, what they said when I was growing up, got to be more careful. Got to be more careful. If Devin don't have it, I don't know if that's being a dream fight. You know what I'm saying? The only two people that Tank hasn't fought is Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney in the professional ranks. You know what I'm saying? The man is still undefeated. Let's talk about Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia. I'd like to see that fight. I would definitely like to see how he handles Ryan Garcia's strength. Because nobody going to convince me that Shakur Stevenson is stronger than Ryan Garcia. It's not. Ryan Garcia, in his own weird way, has demonstrated areas of his game that he ain't no punk. It's some areas that I think he's full of bitch assness. And then when it comes to his strength, I guess he was stronger than what I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I thought he's stronger than I think. I don't know if Shakur is ready for that. I don't think he's gonna be in there bullying Ryan like that. You know what I'm saying? This would be the fight I want to see though. Of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Number one, I want to see Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson. The reason why y'all probably saying, well, why not Tank Shakur Stevenson? Because once again, I put Shakur Stevenson in the same bracket that I put Devin Haney. Okay? Roy said Shakur knows how to play defense. He knows how to run defense. He knows his defense with his feet. But Tank Davis, he knows how to box and punch. He knows how to move. What was Terrence Crawford critiquing or giving constructive criticism to Shakur Stevenson? Yeah, you was moving with your feet, just like Roy indicated, but your hands you didn't let your hands go. So imagine him taking that same mindset to go in there with Tank Davis. And you move closer to Tank Davis, he gonna light you up like it's, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy knockout. You want to move towards Tank with your feet and try to use that modified Philly shell or whatever defense you want to use and think Tank won't light you up. He will light you up. What Artem didn't make Shakur Stevenson pay for, Tank will. So that's why I would say I'd rather see Ryan Garcia, who has flaws in his skill set, and Shakur Stevenson, who has flaws in letting his hands go. He's still learning how to cut off the ring to a point where, him and Ryan can kind of work out all the kinks. You know what I'm saying? For Tank Davis, hey, no. He's beat Ryan Garcia, and I see him beating Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. Period.
4. See Tank against either one of them. See Devin against either one of them.
Yeah, Shakur.
See Shakur against either one of them, and to see Garcia against all those fights are major fights.
I think Shakur gets his respect if he fights Ryan Garcia.
He does. But like I said, I'd like to see him work on that, not getting off the job so much, because if you fight,
I like that, man. I like what he said, man. If you got technique, it's gonna translate. And then he talked about how Shakur moves out. He moves out of space. He creates too much distance in order for him to set up what his intent was, to counter. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much what Roy said, hey, if he works on that, you know what I'm saying? Listen to what he said again.
Not getting off the job so much, because if you fight,
not getting off the job so much, bro. He used an example with the excavator. He said not getting off the job so much. Stay on the job. You stand on the job is if that's your intent to be close quarters, then you got to know how to maneuver. You have to know how to slip. You know how, I was reading some comments that they said on X, right? And there was some people, it's a comment that a guy made that said, yeah, Shakur, something like, I believe you do see the punch. I do believe Shakur can see punches. I do believe he uses his eyes an awful lot. But if you're using your eyes a lot in the sport of boxing and what you see, you have deemed it to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It has been not exposed, but it has been identified as a threat. This is talking about boxing. So you're seeing these punches, but one thing in boxing, you not only see them, you feel them. So if he see these punches, then they're deemed to be a threat, and that threat get to him. He said, oh, let me lay off that. Well, you seeing all the punches is not really a good deal. Because if you're seeing punches and you're feeling punches, but yet you're feeling for punches is outweighing your seeing, your visual. Because what you're supposed to see is supposed to help you counter that fighter or gain some type of disrupt their rhythm or gain some type of momentum at the end of the day. But no, you're seeing them. With the seeing them, you end up feeling them. So you basically digress from the whole purpose of you visualizing that punch and seeing them. The counter, you said, no, I'm going to stay away from that. And I'm going to wait. Same thing, kind of what Tank said. Okay, I felt it. And I'm going to stay away. I'm going to do other things to get right back to it. And that's what he did. But with Shakur, Roy said his feet is his advantage. He knows how to play defense real good with his feet. And if his eyes is supposed to be those special optics, not everything you want to keep looking at. Because if Shakur Stevenson sees something, he feels that something, and he keeps seeing it again. Well, the first time he saw it, and then he felt it, but this time he's seeing it, and he's trying to get far away from feeling it again. It kind of works out at a disadvantage, don't it? Because you saw it, you felt it. Oh, I'm seeing it again, and I'm gonna make an adjustment. It's not the adjustment that we want to see. To say, okay, get back in there, mix it up a little bit. Now that you see what's going on, no, you seeing it, and you might say to yourself, no, I don't want to really engage with that person because I see what he's doing, and just like he was saying with Terrence, he said, oh boy, legit, he legit. I saw what he was saying. He's true. He's solid. So that means he felt his power.
Right, Ryan, and you beat him in a boring way, people not gonna give credit for it still.
Okay.
If you beat Ryan the same you beat the other guy, you're not gonna get real credit for it. Yeah. Because Tank stopped Ryan.
Yes.
You understand me? So if you go out there and you beat him, but it's a boring fight, you're not gonna get no credit. Yeah. It's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna help you. Because anybody goes the distance now, if he clean, if you go this with a clean Ryan Garcia, that's gonna do you no good because Tank stopped it. And he was clean when Tank stopped it. Yeah. And Tank was clean when he stopped it.
Yeah.
So if you go out there and you don't stop him when he's clean,
yeah,
then it's gonna diminish you a little bit as far as that race goes. Yeah. Because the leader of the race right now is Tank Davis. Yeah. And Tank.
He said the leader of the race right now is Tank Davis when it comes to these four. I don't think a lot of people have an argument with that. I don't think they have an argument. I think a lot of people are extremely happy that Tank is still in his 20s. It might be his late 20s and he's no longer with Floyd Mayweather. I think people like that because you're seeing a different type of Tank in the media. You're seeing him going in there having fun, entertaining the crowd. And right now, he's winning, bro. He can't miss. Tank can't miss right now. When he has a fight coming up, people are tuned in like they did Mike Tyson, bro. You know what I'm saying? They tuned in right now. It takes Tank is in a weird predicament. He's not the cash cow of boxing, but he's making money. A lot of people say that Tank can never be the face of boxing because of his background and he's not user friendly when he talks to the media. Even though leaps and bounds. This dude has changed it up. He's been practicing. He's gotten way better than he was back then. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten way better than he was at the media. He usually didn't say shit. But at this point, you take one of the most entertaining fighters that's down at 135, 3-weight world champion. People can say he's this, because of the Reggie belt. No, you can't place that on Tank when boxing deemed the WBA regular title as a legitimate world champion. Anyway, you look at what he's being able to accomplish, but yet, even though the fans come out and watch Tank, they would never keep on putting that up there. You know how they would put, oh, it's Sonya, are you the face of boxing? Absolutely. That's good to say if he's the face of boxing, but the people have to treat him like he's the face of boxing. You know what I'm saying? They got to treat him like he do. People come out to his fights for show. But whenever the conversation come up about the face of boxing, they talk about the Crawfords. And that's a crazy dynamic because Crawford really didn't fuck with the media either. So Tank haven't really advanced to the point where Crawford is right now when people bring up pound for pound best, because for one, he's in a lighter weight class, okay? And then for a minute, he only held a Reggie belt down there and people thought he wasn't fighting the best competition. But yet, devil's advocate, they pretty much said the same shit about Crawford. They were saying that Crawford, he ain't fought nobody. Who cares about Ricky Burns? You know what I'm saying? Who cares about when he unified with Julius and Dung? Who cares about all them fighters and champions that he beat? Who cares? They were saying the same thing until he went in there and beat Spence. Then they came up with excuses for Spence. So it's a double knot, bro. Double knot that shit, bro. But good interview, man. Great interview for All the Smoke.
Stop, right? So, styles make fights. Yes.
Yes.
So you out there and completely humiliated Ryan with your boxing skills. Yes.
That's different, yeah.
Yes. But if you just do just enough to get by, no. They're not gonna give you credit for that.
And once again, shout out to All the Smoke. That was their audio video. I was just using for educational purposes only. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to All the Smoke. That was their content. All right. Shout out to them. Keep on doing what you're doing, fellas. Shout out to the legend Roy Jones Jr. Appreciate you. Real talk. Shout out to my guy Christopher White, man. Salute to you, brother. One love. Always showing support to the channels. My channel, Shaw's channel, other channels, man. Salute to you. Much appreciated. Real talk. Much appreciated. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. I see you on deck, brother. What's good with the Blunts on deck? What's good? What's good? I don't put Stevenson in the same bracket with Devin Haney. Hell no. This is the way I look at that. And once again, people don't know how much criticism I get for the fighters I support and why I support them, right? Like to say, when it comes to defense, I think Jahad Tucker's defense is, damn near top 2 in boxing. Some of the stuff he does, you won't be able to appreciate until you slow down the reel and put it in clips. The one thing I will say, I think Jahad has better defense than Shakur Stevenson. I really do. I'll put that up against anything, highlight reel clips, period. Because he's not afraid to fight on the inside. And he doesn't never leave the job. Jahad doesn't leave the job. He stays on the job and he slips the goddamn mere breath. Inches, whiskers. And be able to be there again and counter his opponent. But it happens so fast and he be up there dancing and shit. People don't really see what's going on. But he has way better defense than Shakur Stevenson. Now back to what Christopher said about Shakur Stevenson, and I think he said Devin Haney. This is where I'm at with that. Devin Haney beat George Cambozo. All right, he beat him twice. I have to give Devin Haney FICO points for that, Christopher. I have to, bro. Do you know how difficult that is? He went over to another man's backyard in Australia, beat that man for the belts easily, and went right back over there and defended them, all getting paid doo-doo. That, to me, regardless of the way Devin looked in there against freaking Ryan Garcia, man, he did his thing when he fought Cambozo. Now, granted, Cambozo, he's the man who beat Teofimo Lopez, who beat Lomachenko. Okay, I get it. But wrapping that all up together, goddammit, Shakur ain't did nothing like that. He ain't did it. All right? But then again, he moved up and he fought Regis Prograis. Now, that's where it gets a little fragmented. People say, oh, man, he was weighing 189 pounds. Look, that's where it gets a little fragmented. But he was undisputed. Once again, Devin Haney was undisputed. No ifs, ands, or buts. He did more than Teofimo Lopez was able to do. He had all the belts. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, and no buts about it. The man was undisputed. Shakur haven't did that. Shakur unified, but he was not undisputed. Now, the one check, there are some checks that I can give Shakur Stevenson. When he was collecting these belts, he just didn't have the opportunity to fight one fighter who had all the belts. Well, that's another thing, how people gauge undisputed and unification. Did somebody have all the belts, or did you fight everybody? You know what I'm saying? They will always tell you, okay, we always going to have a debate in the boxing arena, because that's how finicky these fans are. They'll say the same about Crawford. At 147, man, goddamn Spence did all the heavy lifting, man. Man, he didn't do shit, man. Spence did all the heavy lifting. Crawford didn't do shit but beat him. You're right. He didn't do nothing but beat the brakes off of him, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to look at it and say to yourself, okay, do you give full credit for a fighter beating a fighter with all the belts and he had one? Or do you give more respect? Well, look at it this way. Everybody can't do what Jermell Charlo did. Look at Inouye. Look at Inouye. Look how he was able to, pick up the scattered belts at 118. Look how he was able to, fight, for the belts, the dual belts. It was 2-2, just like Jorge Ramirez and Josh Taylor. They both had 2 belts. So it all depends on what the fight fans are looking at. Inouye did it different in bantamweight than he did at super bantamweight. You feel me? So everybody's gonna have they deal like, well, Shakur Stevenson, he unified, but he ain't been undisputed yet. We don't know how much weight does being undisputed have with a multi-division champion. Shakur has more championships, but Devin has undisputed. Devin is on a list. It used to be a short list when it was only B-Hop, JT, and Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay? Shakur has 3 divisions. Devin has 2, but one of them are undisputed. So when you say about grouping them together, they have their own little scales of measurement, how people put them on a ruler and say, this is all the criteria that I accredited and award Devin Haney for. This is all the criteria and accreditation I give Shakur. Who should be in this, and this. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be people that say that Devin Haney kept getting off the canvas and pushing to try to fight Ryan Garcia. And then it's going to have people that's saying that Shakur Stevenson didn't let his hands go. And that came from Crawford's mouth himself. You know what I'm saying? So you want to look at who had the worst game plan? They'll say Devin had the worst game plan fighting Ryan Garcia, and made it, a bit more interesting for Ryan to go in there and get the knockdowns. And then you get a fight like Shakur said, yeah, he might have told me I wouldn't let my hands go, but I was still being smart about my approach. I wasn't trying to set myself up to get knocked out. Why would I do that? Why would I set myself up to get knocked out? That's stupid. That's what boxers say. It's hit or not get hit. What did Crawford say? They want Shakur Stevenson to be what? Simple, basic. That means they want him to go in there and get hit. You know what I'm saying? It's different for each fighter, man. I don't think it's simple, basic to go in there and get hit. I just look at it like people want to see a person that's supposed to have one of the best technical cachets in the game not use it as effective as fight fans would expect him to. So they criticize him. That's all. That's all I can say about that, yo. Shout out to Bruce Guys, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute to you, OG. See Jessica the Queen in the building. Salute to you. NYT on deck. Salute. Mike on deck. Carlos Rosado on deck. Dan Chan on deck. What's good? So, that's where I'm at with that. There's not a lot of people that can go up here and line their opponents up after coming off 5 years of constant ridicule and debate and all these freaking stamps that they put on this guy for never fighting anybody. For him to go in here and demonstrate the way he did and change boxing history. When you look at Crawford, what pluses and minuses do you give him when you compare him to how Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney fight? Do they say do they say Crawford has better technical skills than Shakur Stevenson? Because when you're talking about fan friendly, Crawford is fan friendly. But I've read what certain people say that Shakur Stevens is the best technical skills in the sport. But yet they've been on his helmet. They've been tap dancing a cappella. You know what I'm saying? A cappella. They've been tap dancing on his head. And he's been mad about it. But yet Terrence, he goes in there and they say he's one of the most all-around strikers in the sport of boxing, pound for pound best. And he doesn't go in there and just say, like he said, simple, basic. He puts himself in a position to be hit. He's just so smart and educated to the point where when Crawford do the same shit Shakur does, it has different outcomes, man. One thing we know about Crawford, he doesn't leave the job. He will basically create just enough space on the end of somebody's punch and be there to counter over the top. All you got to do is look at this picture. No, that's not Heath Ledger and goddamn Batman either. He gets off the square just a little bit and be able to turn that freaking shot with full force. Shakur Stevenson may freaking have trained with him, but his mindset when that switch is to be turned on ain't there. It ain't there. It's not there, yo. It's not there. I don't think it'll ever be there. I'm gonna say this out of all respect. I don't know how Shakur is gonna act if he ever take a loss. I don't know how he's ever gonna act, bro. Because just think about the criticism that he's getting now. He hasn't lost. He don't come off as, to me, as being a humble individual. And I don't get off telling fighters to be humble. I don't like when people say be humble, because they're just telling you to be humble based off the small window that they had to observe the situation that basically urged them to tell you to be humble. They may not even know the whole goddamn story, but they just seen what they seen and say, hey man, be humble. Be humble about that shit. Be humble, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's been a pleasure, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, shouty. You know what I'm saying? We still coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the T-Mobile massacre. July 29, 2023. We almost there. We would definitely have to go in reflection and remember such a day. Historically, a point in time where if you ever going to talk about the history of boxing, that's going to be one of the best fights you talk about of this era. It's one of the best 2 pound for pound fighters. Now we have other fighters that's trying to, we have other situations that's trying to take place. Other fighters is trying to have their Terrence Crawford moment. Real talk. It's fighters out there that's trying to have their Terrence Crawford moment. But my thing is, on my way out the door is, you're not ever going to have a Terrence Crawford moment like he had with Spence just by throwing his name up in your conversation every time the camera's hot. It's going to take more for you to have one of those moments than just mentioning this man's name all the time when he has a fight locked in. That is called KC, Kilo Charlie, clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? Spell it with an MF and K, shawty. That is called clout chasing. Yes, that's called clout chasing, man. That's called clout chasing. All y'all cats talking about, oh, he got this. You can break down Crawford from head to toe. But the only way that you're going to prove to the people that you have him figured out and that you're a special individual is that you go in there and demonstrate on Crawford the same way he demonstrated on Spence, bro. That is the only way that the fight fans are going to be on your side and say, damn, so-and-so did what Crawford did to Spence. They studied him so famously that it's almost like they knew everything that man was going to throw. So for whoever that person is, you're going to have to study Crawford famously. And the strangest part about that, you have people out here criticizing Crawford because he doesn't display all his skill set in there with his opponents. But yet they don't say he does the same thing over and over and over again and he's predictable. That's a dangerous ass fighter right there. That's a dangerous fighter, yo. If they saying this man continues to be 40-0 winning like he is, no positive test, no Osterine, and they saying this man is winning and he's not even showing you plan B or C. Now, I don't know what it was when he switched up in the 9th round and started pressing Spence like they was fighting in a freaking community bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what plan that was. Was that just part of the energy that he felt at the time? Say, okay, let me get this dude up out of there. But if you're going to study him, you're going to be missing some chapters. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like it's going to be chapter 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10. No, not like that. You're going to be missing chapters based off what you're supposed to have written down for your notes when you in there studying. Like when you're doing film study and certain notes and details that you're writing down, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be gaps in there because The chapter may be written in full, and you go on from chapter 2 to chapter 3. But that doesn't mean you skipped over something because you forgot it. It means it's left out because there's a lot of people that's saying that he hasn't displayed all his skills. As of Errol Spence, we seen him fight the same way over and over and over and over and over again. So they studied his routine, his method, his rhythm, his fluidity, his decision making. What happens if he get hit? What is he had a way to study him? Yes, Crawford has footage out there. It's all about Spence breaking out of the habit, right? I'm mentioning Spence because he got a tough fight with Fundora. If Spence break out of the habit of not really in depth watching film, okay? Because it's imperative that he goes in there and beats Sebastian Fundora. But if Spence, depending on who he's with, is allotted the opportunity to face Bud Crawford in a rematch, you're going to have to basically view the footage that you had your last fight, which is pretty pointless because Crawford has been on record and say, I don't look at film like that because he's not going to fight me the same way he fought the last guy. And you know what I'm saying? Spence is not going to fight Crawford the same way he fought him the first time unless that's what we want to assume. But due to him all the way up to that point where he took his first loss, he was pretty much fighting and doing the same predictable routine. You know what I'm saying? That's solid. Yo, that's solid, y'all. No matter if you listening to me and you really understanding without having that biased freaking shades on, I'm saying some authentic, you know what I'm saying? I'm put some info out there for you. That's just based off my analytics and the way I think. It's just when it comes down to Crawford, a lot of people say we haven't seen everything he has to offer because he's been able to make adjustments quickly, effectively, and proficiently and come out on top. But yet it's still, the mystery of what we haven't seen from Crawford if he's placed in a situation where you have a boxer that's really testing him the right way. All these fighters can go out there and talk about, oh man, Crawford's this, that, and the other, and we can break him down. Okay, break him down. Show us. Let us see, man. You will have the Madrimov fight now. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You will have the Madrimov fight as one of your studies to look at. And if I was telling you, I'll go over there and check out Boxing Gyms. Boxing Gyms, the best in the game, and breaking this shit down on. And come on, bro. That's where they should be at. Look, if you can study that, he slows it down and shows you intricate details. Now, once again, that's a film breakdown of a previous fight he had. Like Crawford said, he don't look at film like that because that fighter is not going to fight him the same way. that fighter is not going to fight Crawford the same way he fought his last opponent. The styles are different. The styles are different, yo. The styles are freaking different. You know it. I know it. Everybody else know it. You know what I'm saying? He said you talking about pillow hands, right? Hey, man. I don't have no kickback with trying to explain to somebody that might be a little nugget, a little pebble. You know what I'm saying? It might be a goddamn 2 sunflower seeds that they were snacking on back there that fell into the freaking glove. And every time he hit his opponent, hey, man, I think he had something up in there, dog. So seriously, they check his glove. I could have sworn, if I had to guess, man, it was 1, 2, or 3 sunflower seeds up in there, bro. Them things was slicing me up too, bro. You saw how I was bleeding? I was bleeding like Spence in there. and all I can taste is salt. He had some pistachios up in there too with the shell on them, dog. They was cutting me up. You know the pistachio shells, man, they'll fuck a gorilla up. You hit them the right way with it. Haynes Legacy in the building. What's good with it, Haynes? How you feeling, bro? Salute to you, brother. Yeah, you know the notification deal, man. Hey, I even forgot, even sending out to the people I usually. But I got you next time around, man. You know what I'm saying? I got you next time around. But yeah, I was about to get up out here, but I can't go against that. You know, when people say pillow hands, a fighter that don't have power, they get extremely irate at people that says things like that, like you don't have no power, you soft. But then they'll tell you, I kill you, I kick your ass. This is that. And hey, look, that's always gonna be the goddamn dynamic, bro. Real talk. But y'all hold it down, man. Salute to everyone. Shout out to the hottest chatting the MF and game, man. A-Side Official. Until next time, man, y'all hold it down. Continue to support the channel. Hit the like button on your way out. And be sure to comment on the video, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be up here, you know what I'm saying, talking my shit. And nobody will comment on the video. Why, shouty? Why? Peace.